Good day, everyone. My name is Amy Carpenter. I'm with Moffett & Nickel and project manager for the design team for the A-Dock demolition and replacement project. I've brought several members of the design team to this presentation. Charles Balzerini with Moffett & Nickel, Lexi Kostick with RMC Architects, Ed David with Harbor Power, and Larry Lehman with Getty Associates. The project is located in the Cap Sante Marina in Anacortes. A-Dock is located in the south end of the marina with road access along Seafarers Way. As you can see on this aerial for Cap Sante Marina, A-Dock is located to the far left, adjacent to the existing fuel dock and T-Dock, and shares a fairway with B-Dock, Bravo Dock. I just wanted to point out to you that the A-Dock is located alongside Seafarers Way for road access, but also from the nearby marina entrance. And now I'd like to ask each of the other design members to go through and describe the major project elements for the project.
Thanks, Amy. Start with demolition. So here you can see the overall demolition plan for A-Dock. We'll be demolishing the existing concrete floats, piling, gangway abutment, as well as on-float utilities. In the uplands, we'll be demolishing the existing sidewalk, some utilities, and saw cutting some asphalt for the proposed development. This is the proposed site plan. Shows the new site improvements. You see we'll be installing new heavy-duty concrete floating docks. They will be secured with driven steel piling. Installing a new gangway and gangway abutment, and some upland site improvements as well. A close-up of the gangway abutment structure. Going to have a concrete deck, steel framing, and it will be supported by driven steel piling. Elevation view of the new gangway. This will be a aluminum gangway with a fiber reinforced deck and an open roof structure. The close-up plan of the upland site improvement. You can see we'll be regrading the site, installing quite a lot of new concrete sidewalk, utilities, and installing some structures as well. And I'll pass it on to Lexi to describe those.
Yes, so other site improvements include, yes, the thickening of the concrete slab to support a new waiting shelter and trash enclosure. Paving also includes 2 pedestrian curb ramps, one on the located at the existing crosswalk and another centered between the 2 shelters. Asphalt replacement will extend from the crosswalk east to the end of the trash enclosure. The area will be restriped as a designated loading zone. And then existing crosswalk and drive aisle markings will also be repainted. New pipe bollards are to be installed for the trash enclosure, 10 at the loading zone flanking the curb ramp. Yeah, some existing site accessories are to be salvaged and reinstalled along the north end of the new sidewalk. And at the edge of the new gangway abutment, a stainless steel pipe and cable guardrail will be installed. The architectural scope also includes two fabricated covered shelters. The basis of design here is a 12-foot by 20-foot steel structure by DuoGuard Industries. Each of the shelters will be enclosed on two sides by removable panels of safety glass. The end panels are to be frosted. The roof covering is pre-finished metal, standing seam metal. And then each of the shelters will be furnished with 3 aluminum benches that are anchored to the new concrete slab. And each shelter will also have a 55-inch LCD display panel and waterproof enclosure. And to confirm, those are to be contractor furnished and contractor installed. The next slide. So east of the shelters, the concrete sidewalk and asphalt paving will be reconfigured here for some partial enclosures for on-site electrical equipment, dock carts, garbage and recycling containers. The enclosure walls are just standard 8-inch CMU with a 6-inch concrete barrier curb at the base. And then the walls around the dumpster and recycling containers are about 6 feet tall, while the wing walls at the dock cart and transformer are 42 inches tall. The concrete pads for the container are required to have kind of a slight slope into the drive aisle for drainage. That's important. And then again, just 4 protection bollards on the outside corners.
So the electrical consists, the overwater electrical will follow the demolition that Charles described earlier. So all the overwater electrical wiring and appurtenances will be removed. In the upland, there are 3 services and 2 pad-mounted transformers that are owned by Puget Sound Energy. So those will have to be removed. Essentially, all the upland electrical will be removed with the exception of a underground vault that is, you can see on this plan. So that'll remain. There's existing 12.47 kV feeders through it, so it will need to be protected during construction. The vault lid will need to match finished grade with the final finishes of the concrete surfaces in the area. So from that existing vault, we'll need to install underground primary conduit to a new transformer pad location where you can see the cursor there. So thanks. So the PG&E or PSE pad mounted transformer will be located in that location. From there, secondary conductors to the electrical service switchboard A, which is an 800 amp 277 480 volt 3-phase service, will be on the other side of that the CME wall that Lexi just described. So from that switchboard, there'll be underground PVC feeders to the approach pier and gangway abutment. They'll daylight through the abutment. There will be some PVC conduit mounted below the gangway and extend down. So the portable power cable will be extended from the switchboard through the abutment, down the gangway, and onto the floats. There's some detail on the float routing chases in the bid package, but these will also need to be coordinated with the float manufacturer and the shop drawings. So on the float, we'll have 2 unit substations that are near the landing float, the gangway landing float. So the 40 volt will be taken to the dock. It will be transformed in the unit substations, and 120, 240 single phase will be distributed to the odd numbered floats and some of the smaller slips. So the larger 110-foot slips, that would be slip 8, slip 18, 18, 20, 26, 28, and 30, 32 will have yacht power centers installed at the end of the finger, as you can see near the luminaires. So those yacht power centers will be fed with 480 volt, and they will step the voltage down to 12240 and provide an assortment of shore power connections for those slips. They'll serve both sides of those slips. So in effect, 6 slips will be served by yacht power center A, B, and C. So the installation is generally portable power cable in chases, in plastic chases. There is some rectangular chases specified in the float detailed drawings. The rest can be round tubes and junction boxes. In addition to the shore power outlets that or shore power pedestals and outlets shown, there will be luminaires, so 12-foot pole-mounted luminaires throughout the dock. So that pretty much covers it. There are a few other connections: this sanitary sewer pump out, the V5 C-bin trash collector, and some other minor circuits. There's a Wi-Fi pole that's shown near the unit substations that will require power. And I think that's pretty much it on the overall over water portion. There are some step-mounted luminaires integral to the gangway there that should be coordinated with the gangway manufacturer as well. So here on the enlarged plan, you can see the electrical vault that's to remain on the left side of the sheet. The secondary from the Puget Sound transformer or the primary from the electrical vault will extend to the transformer towards the left of the sheet. And then again from the transformer to the switchboard, you can see switchboard A there on the back side of the concrete wall on the opposite side of the dumpster location. So in this view, it's primarily showing the wiring and conduit work for the shelters. So the shelters will need to be equipped with luminaires that are mounted to the bottom of the roof structure support members. Conduit will be routed exposed and follow the structural lines. They should be finished painted to match the structure in the end. There's also 2 display panels, video display enclosures, that will be mounted at the end of each enclosure on the east and west. That'll require 120 volt power and data connections. So the data connections will come from those displays and be collected in a junction box at the existing light pole, and then there will be a conduit from the light pole to an underground fiber pull box. And this will be a little clearer when you have the complete set in front of you, but just that there will be some data. The data will consist of a conduit for future fiber that the port will install, and Cat6 cable from the displays to the same junction box. There will also be a camera mounted on the top of that existing light pole that's shown just to the north of the transformer. Beyond that, there's going to be an existing lighting circuit that will need to be connected for the roadway lighting in Seafarers Way. And there will also be some hot box electrical connections or a heat trace in the hot box. And I think that pretty much covers it. For the electrical equipment, here are the specified shore power pedestals. So the Eaton power pedestal in the upper left-hand corner is the base model, and those will go on the odd-numbered slips, which would be to the south side of the dock and serve the smaller slips. The Eaton Admiral, which is the upper right-hand pedestal, will be provided for the longer slips and for larger services. And as noted before on the site plan, the lower left shows the yacht power centers with integral transformers and 100 amp pin and sleeve, 50 amp, a various assortment of shore power connections. And then in the lower right-hand corner is the unit substations, and the two unit substations again are located at the special float adjacent to the gangway landing float on the dock.
Larry?
The final element of the project is installation of large woody debris structures in the northeastern portion of Cap Sandy Marina. The installation of these large woody debris structures can be done at any time, since it doesn't rely on the demolition or construction of the new A dock. The large woody debris structure to be 16 to 20 foot logs with root wads attached and installed individually. A perfect example of this is the large woody debris located in the western portion of Cap Sandy Marina near the hoist. And I recommend taking a look at those because each one of the logs will be pretty much installed similar to this. Over at the location, the port will provide a temporary storage and mobilization area in a gravel parking lot just to the north of the shoreline where these are going to be installed. The large woody debris will be installed at an elevation between plus 8.2 and plus 5. And there are several constraints that will limit the access to the site. One is the presence of existing salt marsh to the north of the large woody, where the large woody debris will be placed. So access, we'll have to take care with access to the site to make sure that none of this is disturbed. And then to the south of it, there is the marina in that location is very shallow. So if considering using a barge or anything like that to get these structures in, you just have to make sure that the barges don't ground out during this process. Prior to any of the work in this for the large woody debris, the salt marsh areas will be flagged and marked, so you guys know where you cannot go. And then the port will also mark the location for each one of the large woody debris structures.
On behalf of the project team and the port, we'd like to thank you for participating on this pre-bid presentation overview, and look forward to seeing everyone at the site pre-bid meeting.